The first thing for the youth and you should remember that the one who is talking to you now is a former youth. Therefore, when you spend time youth, I am a former youth, I know everything about youth. So I can really tell you, as you use your language, the roadmap. What is the safe roadmap for the youth? Because I was here in 1960 in Kabale High School. I was a youth. This is 63 years ago, and I was watching what was happening. And I've been watching since that time, and also participating. The first thing you must ensure is discipline. Discipline for yourself, to protect your life from the dangers of youth. The first thing for you, especially people are not handling you as politicians, who should be handling you as parents. Because what I'm telling you is what I tell my grandchildren now, the ones who are with me in the house. That's what I tell them. First thing is discipline. You must reject the temptations of youth. Secondly, studies, concentrating on your studies, so that you get knowledge, but you also get qualifications. Now, thirdly, ideology. Part of the problem is that the youth, some of the youth get wrong ideology. Ideology of sectarianism, of religion, of tribes, of working for foreign interests. If you take that line, you will fail. Because I have been watching all these years. If you look at those three, I can assure you, you will go far. After that, you should ensure to lead a productive life, to be in productivity. Don't lead a life of parasitism, of depending on others. Be sure that you can do something. And we have told you, the sectors here in Uganda are 4, and they are all there. So therefore, we should have a population of wealth creators. This is very crucial for you to understand, because you can have a population of leisure seekers. I heard about the loan scheme, what the youth leader was saying. The loan scheme, we support it, but the money was not renewed this time because of the problems we had, the temporary problems of Corona, the war in Ukraine, but that scheme will be replenished. But what we did, I think we said, no new ones, but the old ones must continue being supported. But it was a temporary measure. I was embarrassed to hear that somebody took away the 4 billion from the youth councils. It will be brought back. Some of these people are shameless. How do you find somebody with very little and then you take away the very little? It's not common sense. So finally, I thank the UN and the family of the UN for their support for some of our programs. I'm coming back in this area to discuss in more detail our wealth creation.
In heritage of all the cultures of the African and Arab world. Your Excellency, through you as the lead person fundraising for this, we will leave out the statements on how prepared the other countries are to make the contribution to kickstart it. But from your
for the launch.
Ngeno ndabashaba eminyeto kubamanyisa ngu esente za parish development model ziriho zanani muzanule muzikozese okugwanisa obworo. In the face of the blackmail of the neocolonial elements, it's important that we rise up to fight poverty and develop the money economy. The only way we can fight with the president is when we make our country rich, is when you make your household rich. That is when what the chairman of the youth was talking about, that is when we can actually stop this blackmail of people who want to blackmail us to believe in values that we don't have.
Your Excellency, today's theme is celebrated around the theme of the impact of COVID-19 and how it has disrupted the livelihood and what we need to do to recover and build the resilience of the youth in at least ensuring that we bounce back to where we were. We want to recommit as Minister of Gender that the skilling program and apprenticeship program, which is not only in the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, but also the Ministry of Education through BITVET, the Presidential Skilling Centers, other skilling centers that are run by non-governmental organizations, will continue to coordinate to support the youth so that the skills they obtain can support them to get jobs. Your Excellency, one of the biggest problems we have is that majority of the youth who go through the formal education and graduate with the degrees in humanities find it difficult to get jobs. And so we are now looking at how to change the mindset of the young people, that on top of having a degree in State House, you were joking with them that degree in peace and security, in human resource, SWASA, and you were telling them that those ones you might not be able to help very much with jobs. But we are now encouraging youth that even if you have a degree, accept to have also skills, something that can support you in creating jobs, because the private sector is now the major driving employment sector. And so we will continue with the skilling in areas that can support the youth to create employment rather than to get employment, because not all of them are able to do sciences. But if they get skills, for example, in tailoring, in carpentry, in all the rest of the other skills, that provides, because if you look at here, people are building, people would want bricks, blocks, people want doors and windows, those welding skills and the skills that can support you, so that you are able to employ people with your skills and the skills that they have obtained.
Your Excellency, in every country's development, we believe that the most productive labor force is the energetic, but not just energetic, ideologically consistent labor force. And in that regard, Your Excellency, we need to appreciate you for some of the things that have been started. Number one, you met the leadership of the district youth councils yesterday at State House. And I want to thank you for the historic meeting that has never happened of hosting all district youth chairpersons and imparting in them an ideological message. But Your Excellency, those are very few of what we need to impart into. There are two solutions. Number one, I suggest, Your Excellency, that you continue into a national program to meet youth leaders at regional level with the message that you gave us yesterday for the youth to appreciate their responsibility in wealth creation. Youth counselors, there are student leaders, there are other district leaders who are not chairpersons, and they all want to listen and interact with the president. So a national program on regional basis, we can always manufacture an arrangement and proceed with it for those to all attend. Your Excellency, the youth population also requires to always be a serving population patriotically. With the Multi-Party Youth Forum, we agreed that the idea of a national youth service scheme must not be abandoned. I thank you for the Chankwanzi retreats. We see so many of them, and now we see so many government agencies taking staff there. But that starts from the fact that the staff were never there. They have never gone through ideological nurturing and ideological training. We believe that for someone to get educated in our education system, they must also be educated in patriotic reasoning before they can join public service. And in line with that belief, we believe that it is important for us to have the National Youth Service Scheme as a prerequisite to public service. People that enter public office to serve Ugandans should have been trained in patriotic discipline and ideology. Sometimes the army that guides the training at Chankwanzi does a very good job in instilling in the memory of these young people what it means to serve your country, and that should not be a preserve of people that are already in service. It should be a nurturing ground for anyone who should be recruited in public service.
In his message for International Youth Day, the UN Secretary General Mr. Antonio Guterres notes that across all of today's challenges, young people are calling for bold and accelerated action, standing in solidarity with the most vulnerable and designing solutions to ensure social, economic, and climate justice, and peace and prosperity for all. He goes on to say that this year's global theme, Green Skills for Youth Towards a Sustainable World, reminds us of the importance of ensuring young people gain and apply skills in the burgeoning green economy. From innovative sustainable technologies and renewable energy to revolutions in transportation systems and industrial activity, young people must be equipped with skills and knowledge to shape a cleaner, greener, more climate-resilient future. Humanity depends on the boundless energy, ideas, and contributions of youth everywhere.